1942 through the 20th century world, with differences ranging from
Okay, so I'm in Caldwell, Kansas, just getting into town here. This is the last town before Oklahoma, and I mean, it's just right inside of Kansas from Oklahoma, so we're almost back in Oklahoma. And I was on the phone with Bill and he just disappeared, so this happens a lot at state lines for some reason these days. You can't cross a state line when you're on the phone and keep the phone call, evidently. I guess they've got it so that, you know, when you get close to the state line, it cuts you off or whatever. And then when you get on the other side, then you get service back again. I guess. I don't know. That's what it seems like anyway. But anyway, this is Caldwell, Kansas. And I don't think I've ever been in here. I think I've never been into this town. Well, I guess I've been into the south part of it. I've never been up here to this part. Well, maybe I have, because I remember that pink, or that purple house. Pink house. Purple house. Purple house with crime scene tape all over it. How about that? Oh yeah, I remember coming through here. I just turned off once we got up on the other side of it, I think. Junction 81, that's what I'm looking for. So we are officially going to get back on 81 down here when we cross this intersection. So instead of coming straight north, 81 doglegs to the east here. And of course, the south, it just goes south. This seems like a really nice little town. I kind of like this. Kind of a cowboy town. I'm no cowboy, God only knows, or cowgirl for that matter. But I guess that's more accurate. But I feel comfortable in cowboy situations because that's how I was raised. So take that for what it's worth. My dad was a cowboy, like the real kind, not the fake drugstore kind. And he would have done it for a living happily if he could have raised a family doing it, but didn't pay good enough to raise a family on. The two things he wanted to do to make a living was to be a cowboy or be a gunsmith, or both, a combination of the two. At that time, it was something that you couldn't really get a steady paycheck doing. Not enough to raise a family. And Mom and Dad had 5 kids, so he didn't get to do those things for his livelihood. He got to do them for fun. Well, he did actually cowboy for a while. On a ranch in Wyoming, of all places, when he and Mom were first married. I didn't know about this stuff until I was like grown, and I would ask Mom about stuff. But evidently, we were talking about, it was funny because we were talking about John Denver songs. And there's a John Denver song about being on a ranch and the lady leaving, Lady's Chains, I think is the song. The girl leaves and the guy's on a ranch working as a cowhand. And she just doesn't like it there. She wants to go to the city where it's more fun, so she leaves him. But we were talking about that song, and Mom said, yeah, she said, that's kind of how it was with your dad and me. I was like, what? That you were going to go off and leave and go to the city? And she was laughing. She said, no. She said, but when we were not married too long after your dad got out of the Navy, he wanted to do that. So we went up to Wyoming and we lived on a ranch, and he worked on the ranch for a while. So I don't know how long he did that. But she said that they came to the conclusion that he wasn't going to be able to feed a family doing that. So that's when I guess he decided he was going to go get an actual profession that would pay better, and he got hired at the phone company, which he made a good living with the phone company. So he did that, but that was his first choice, was to be a cowboy, cowhand. So we're entering Oklahoma. Yay. Hallelujah. I'm glad to be back. Now I just got 170 miles to go to get home. And we'll see how quickly we can navigate that. So anyway, that was how they came to the conclusion that he needed to have a different kind of job. When they got married, he was in the Navy. He was a Seabee in the Navy. And they sent him to Guam, where he worked running a big cat machine and helped build the airstrips on the island of Guam. And so he was over there doing that, and Mom was waiting for him in California at Oxnard, which was where the base was, I guess, that he left from. Well, she was there a little while. Then her mother made her go home to Denver to stay with them. I think she was lonely out there. She didn't like being there by herself. So her mother said, well, come home, and then, you know, you and Jerry can do this when he gets out. You can decide where you want to go or whatever. So Mom went ahead and went back and lived with her parents again the rest of the time that he was in the service, I guess. But I don't think she stayed very long after he shipped out. It was a very short amount of time, you know, less than a month probably, before she decided that was not her cup of tea, and she wasn't going to just sit there by herself, you know, in a strange town with a bunch of people she didn't know. And, you know, of course he had shipped out, so he wasn't going to be back for God only knows how long. I think it's a year. So that's what she did. So when he got back, when he got out, he came to Denver and started looking for work, and he got a job with the phone company. He had been working at a gas station when he first got out, or after they got to Denver anyway. I'm not sure on the chronology of it. I'm not clear on all that. She never was real specific about it. But when he got the job with the phone company, he had been working at a gas station, and I think he was making very little money at the gas station. But when he got the job with the phone company, they started him out, I think it was like $2 an hour. That was a lot of money back then. Roadrunner, oh, that's a pheasant. That's a pheasant. Woohoo! Thought it was a roadrunner the way it was running across there. I haven't seen a pheasant in a long time. Wow. That's awesome. So anyway, he stayed with the phone company for 37 years. And he didn't retire until he had a heart attack, and then he decided it was time to hang up his spikes, which the guys that he worked with they stole his spikes that he used to climb poles with. And he was all pissed off because he couldn't find his spikes. Well, they took him and had him mounted on a board for his retirement. He was mad at him for stealing them, but I guess he thought it was kind of funny that they did that. They put him on a board. They retired his spikes. So, but yeah, he would have been probably happier doing cowboying and gunsmithing. Those are the things that was where his heart was. But he gave that up, you know, to take care of us. So he was a good man. He was pretty selfless. And Of course, I didn't appreciate him at all when I was a kid. I was always butting heads with him. So it turns out, I guess I'm a lot like him, which is probably why we butted heads the whole time I was a kid, primarily. Because he saw in me the things he did not like in himself, the traits, you know. And I'm not guessing about that. He told me that toward the end of his life, that he saw things in me that he didn't like in him, and it irked him that I had these traits that he didn't like in his own self. So, you know, go figure. I mean, we are basically what we are. We're kind of baked into being who we are. Basically, our basic personalities there pretty much from birth, I think. I mean, we learn stuff along the way and adapt and change a little bit, but our basic personality is still, we're going to still be us. So, no, my personality just didn't suit him very much. But you will have that, I guess. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's Medford that we just came through, that I was ignoring entirely. And we are on Highway 81 heading south. We will not leave Highway 81 until we get down to Marlow. So, and I hope we don't have any flash flooding today. I wouldn't be surprised after the rain we got last night. My gosh, it rained and rained and rained and rained and rained some more. It looks like we're good. I don't see any flood. I can see where it would flood down in here. It's actually kind of nice out there now. It's a little breezy, but it's not windy by any means. Just a little bit of wind out of the north. Slight wind. So that's kind of nice. It's giving me a little, dang it, I'm going to lose my voice. Allergies, I'll tell you, allergies are no fun, even when you got mild ones. Dang it. Well, I guess that's gonna kind of put a kibosh on me talking very much if I get that froggy. It looks to me like the clouds are finally lifting out to the west there. It's getting a little bit light down at the edge. Of course, we've only got another 2.5 hours of daylight left, I think. So we don't have much time left to enjoy any sunshine if we get it. Maybe this whole glob of stuff will blow out of here and we'll have a nice weekend. That would be really good. That would be very nice. Alright, I guess I'm going to go back to driving and paying attention, and I will check back in down the road a little ways.